There's a particular kind of internet moment that doesn't start with a scandal. It starts with someone just talking. A guy on a stream with his dad, killing time, pulling up a clip on a phone. That's how this one begins. Within a day, it had turned into a public exchange between a live streamer and a recording artist, playing out entirely across TikTok and X with no publicist, no press release, and nothing filed anywhere official. It's worth being upfront about something because it shapes how this whole story should be told. As of this recording, this is being reported by one outlet, The Shade Room, drawing on clips and posts from the two people directly involved. There isn't a wire report on this, no statement from a record label. Nothing here rises to the level of a legal matter. That doesn't mean the story isn't real or isn't being talked about. Clearly, people are. It means the honest framing is, here's what was posted and said by the people who posted and said it, not here's a fully corroborated account from multiple outlets. That distinction matters, and we're going to hold on to it the whole way through. The two people at the center of this come from fairly different corners of the internet. BenDaDonn is a live streamer who's built an audience across Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. A meaningful part of his content involves his father, including videos built specifically around the two of them together, which is a recognizable feature of his channel, based on his own posted content. Saucy Santana, on the other hand, is a rapper known for songs including Material Girl and Walk 'Em Like a Dog. He's also, separately from his music, someone whose live stream moments have gone viral on their own terms before. In 2023, a public back and forth between him and podcaster DJ Academics received wide coverage after it escalated on camera, touching on issues that went well beyond a simple disagreement, according to reporting from Vibe at the time. In January 2025, The Shade Room covered a separate incident involving a chaotic TikTok live stream with Santana and other users, which went viral for reasons unrelated to this current story. The point of mentioning these isn't to suggest a pattern of behavior.
He could have real, but well, he was just like, fuck it. And then he started shaking his tail.
It's to establish that Santana's name already carried some recognition in viral livestream contexts before this particular clip surfaced. Here's what actually happened, based only on what's shown or stated in the clip cited by reporting. Ben was streaming with his father, and at some point, he pulled up footage to show his dad who Saucy Santana was. In doing that, he ended up landing on Santana's own live stream, which happened to be running at that same moment. Ben made a comment about his physical build, remarking on his height and appearance. That's the entire origin point of the story. A comment made on camera, directed at his father during a live stream. The Shade Room's reporting does not explain what led Ben to bring Santana up in the first place, and no other source fills in that detail either, so it remains unknown. That moment didn't stay contained to the original stream, because someone was watching and recording it. The clip was captured and posted to TikTok by a user going by the handle at @omgetsmellowclips. And once it started circulating, it took on a life separate from the conversation it came from. What we genuinely don't know, and what the Shade Room states directly hasn't been explained, is why Ben brought Santana up at all in that moment. There's no indication anywhere in the available reporting of a prior relationship, a previous interaction, or any history between the two of them. Based on everything that's public right now, this appears to have been a live stream moment that got clipped and spread, involving someone widely recognizable. The reasoning behind it, and anything about what either person was thinking at the time, hasn't been stated by either of them, and isn't something we're going to guess at. Santana, for his part, saw the clip once it started making the rounds, and he responded. He posted a video, addressing Ben by name.
Oh, he on live right now. Check him out. Chat, we gotta go watch. I'm gonna show my daddy. Look at this.
And in it, according to the video itself, he pushed back on the description that had circulated, specifically the height comparison. He reframed the conversation, around it, saying he wasn't defined by any number tied to his physical appearance except one tied to his finances, phrasing it in terms of 6 figures rather than 6 feet. That's a documented statement from an actual posted video, not a paraphrase of a rumor circulating secondhand. He also told Ben plainly to stop trying to use him for content, making clear he doesn't engage with streamers who bring him up that way. He didn't stop there. He also questioned why Ben and his father were spending stream time talking about him instead of something he considered more worthwhile, specifically referencing meeting people. It's worth pausing on what that response actually represents, because the format matters. This wasn't a comment left under someone else's post, and it wasn't a quote surfacing days later through a third party. It was Santana, on his own platform, addressing someone by name on camera. Whatever you make of the content of what he said, the response itself is about as verifiable as this kind of story gets. It's a primary document, viewable directly, not an account filtered through several layers of retelling. Ben addressed the situation himself on X, formerly Twitter. In a post dated July 2nd, 2026 from his own account, he said the clip that had circulated was taken out of context, and he stated his position clearly. He said he didn't want to go back and forth with Santana over it. That's a direct, dated first-person statement, and it gives this timeline a fixed point, which matters, since so much of the surrounding chatter around a story like this doesn't come with a clean date attached. That post wasn't the end of his response. Someone replied to it asking Ben to release the full stream, so people could judge his comments in context rather than relying on the short, viral clip that had already spread. Ben answered that specific request, saying he didn't think there was much point in doing that because anyone who watched the full stream rather than the isolated clip would see that what he'd said wasn't as bad as it looked once it had been cut down. He thanked the person for the suggestion. Taken together, those two posts give a fairly clear picture of where Ben stands. He's calling this a matter of missing context, and he stated in his own words that he isn't interested in extending the conflict any further. Now, what happened after that is a little harder to characterize with precision, because the clearest evidence of any broader public reaction comes specifically from the comment section underneath. See, Umbrate, the Shade Room's own coverage of the story. That's a real and legitimate thing to report on, but it's not the same as measuring how the internet as a whole responded. Within that specific comment section, a number of people sided with Santana. Some singled out particular lines from his response video as the most memorable part of the exchange. Others echoed the same question Santana himself had raised: why Ben and his father were spending their stream time discussing him in the first place, with several commenters framing it as an unusual thing to focus on during a stream between a father and son. That's real documented reaction, and it's fair to include as part of the story. But its reaction to one article on one platform and treating it as a stand-in for a comprehensive read on public opinion would be overstating what's actually known. People commenting under one outlet's coverage are not the same thing as the internet collectively weighing in, even though stories are often framed that way. We'd rather be precise about what that reaction represents than inflate it into something larger. What's notably absent from this entire timeline, when you look at the whole thing, is almost everything you'd expect if this were a bigger story. There's no legal filing, because nothing here approaches that level. This is two public figures and a viral clip, not a dispute involving contracts, courts, or lawyers. There, quote, no statement from a record label, a manager, a platform, or any official representative for either party, because as far as available reporting shows, none has been issued. There's no confirmation of any prior relationship or history between Ben and Santana before this clip surfaced, which suggests, based on everything public right now, that this was a one-off collision between two people who exist in overlapping but largely separate corners of the internet, rather than a continuation of some longer-running dispute. There's also no resolution here beyond what Ben himself has already stated. He's on record saying he considers this a matter of a clip lacking context. He's on record saying he doesn't want to continue any back and forth with Santana. Santana, for his part, hasn't posted anything further specifically addressing Ben beyond that original response video, based on everything available at the time of this recording. So unless something new surfaces, this appears to be a story with a clearly defined beginning, a documented middle, and an ending that amounts to one side making a pointed statement, the other side clarifying and stepping back, with neither showing any public sign of taking it further from here. That's worth sitting with, because it differs from how stories like this often get framed for maximum drama. There's no unresolved threat between the two of them documented anywhere. There's no indication in the reporting that either side plans to escalate this into something bigger. Santana made his point in a video that's already fully public, available for anyone to watch in full. Ben made his point across 2 separate posts on X, both of which remain visible and dated for anyone checking the timeline themselves. If you're hoping for a dramatic next chapter here, the honest, non-speculative answer is that nothing in the available reporting suggests one is coming, at least not based on anything either person has said publicly so far. What this comes down to, once you strip away the viral clip, the response video, and the comment section reactions, someone made a comment during a live stream. It was clipped out and shared without its surrounding context. If you're hoping for a dramatic next chapter here, the honest, non-speculative answer is that nothing in the available reporting suggests one is coming, at least not based on anything either person has said publicly so far. What this comes down to, once you strip away the viral clip, the response video, and the comment section reactions, someone made a comment during a live stream. It was clipped out and shared without its surrounding context. Person the comment was about saw it and responded directly on his own platform. The person who made the original comment then clarified his position publicly and stated, in his own words, that he considered the matter closed on his end. That's the entire documented arc of this story, from start to finish. Everything else, the actual reasoning behind the original comment, whether there's any history between them that hasn't and be made public, whether this comes up again on either of their future streams, remains unconfirmed. It wouldn't be responsible reporting to fill in those gaps with speculation just to make this feel like a bigger or more dramatic story than what the evidence currently supports. If new statements come from either party, or if either Ben or Santana brings this up again on a future stream or through another post, that would be the next reportable development worth tracking. Until that happens, what's actually been established and what anyone can verify by watching the original Enja clips and posts themselves is exactly what's been laid out here. A comment, a clip, a response, and a clarification. And for now, based on everything publicly available, that appears to be where it stands.